Welcome to our Northwoods permanent campsite. We have a wall tent here. This is an Ozark Trail 10 by 12 wall tent that we got over a year ago that we used to take weekly to state campsites. We'd put it up and camp over the night, take it down, take it back home. It's a 100-pound tent. It's a very affordable tent that we have found that works very well for our needs. It has stayed up now in our permanent campsite on our property in the Northwoods of Wisconsin since July. So going on a handful of months here, we've strapped it down very firmly, and we'll show you what we have in here. We did a video a year or so ago of what's in our tent that we took camping. This stuff stays here for 3.5 seasons. I'll explain that in a minute. First, we've got a log wood stove. It can house a 19-inch log, I believe it is. It keeps the tent very, very warm. It can get down to 20 degrees outside and it's still 70 or 80 in here if you know what you're doing with the proper wood applications and knowing how to vent it correctly. It does get dark in the tent, so we do have a little LED light that runs off a power station or a power pack. Typically it sets here. We're running it off the power pack here because we've ran the power station dry. It illuminates. We also have a lantern, and we also have a ceiling fan that runs off USB. This is good for the summer to get the cool air to move around. Also when it's cold outside, we've got a lot of heat in here. This pushes the heat down, makes it very, very comfortable. Up here also we have a rod here that we can hang clothes on. And also we've got a dowel rod over here that has our clock and our drying rack and clothes hanger. Now the thing that you need to be aware of, at least in this type of tent, is this framework is not something you're going to do chin-ups on. It's a 1/2-inch aluminum, I guess, or a very light metal. So it will hold weight, but it's not going to hold hundreds of pounds. So we've got these additions here in the rafters and these 2x4s and one in order to compensate for when we first put it up that week. It rained and the water pulled the tent down. Didn't hurt the framework. So these we put up right away in order to get the water to shed right off, and it's worked very well. Also, we've got some stuff here. We've got a weather station, place for aluminum foil, paper towels, table to put stuff on. Table to put stuff on. We got a wood box, which is just a crate that I had in the attic. Works very well. A bushel basket that would be for harvesting like apples or pears, but that's got kindling in it. And we've got a small dresser, place for towels, radio, and these metal racking. We got a place for the bow, and these metal rackings you can see better over here, or at least right there. It's something that you would use in a closet. Found this on Junk Day many, many years ago and saved it. So what we've done is we've utilized the frame, tied it on the front, on the back side there and here, and it holds a lot of the knick-knack stuff that we use or may want to use. Works very well. We just have to be careful that we're not compensating the framework. We have a Coleman queen-size air mattress that we've deflated, and we've got a 6-inch memory foam mattress that we got online. The air mattress was like a waterbed. It just was very uncomfortable. You moved, everything moved. This here, very comfortable, not a problem at all. Here is a box that has more kindling. I always try to stock it with birch bark. I've got a lot of pine on the property, so I'll split that down into very fine pieces so I can get the fire started. That's also a tip. Whenever you're leaving your campsite for the week, be sure your wood box is stoked and your kindling is stoked, because I've come here and it's been pouring down rain and it has rained for multiple days, and I've got enough wood to get me through 2 or 3 nights of dry kindling that I can cook outside and keep warm inside. So our floor here, around where the stove is, we do not have it, but we've got the interlocking foam tiles. I've got 2 layers. We're in the woods. We didn't, we leveled this off the best we could. It's not a patio, we're not pouring concrete. So this takes some of the even and up and down out of it. Also, it adds a layer of a little bit of insulation. When it's super cold outside and you're barefoot or you have socks on, this makes a big, big difference. But also you have to keep in mind that sometimes these don't always want to stay together, as some people show on their YouTube video that they never have a problem at all. This is the reality here. We also have 2 sleeping bags, 0 rated on both of them, that also, if the stove gets low at night, you're still very, very warm. You're not compensating your comfort by just having a couple sheets on the bed. We've got night tables on both sides. Both of those were found along the side of the road. So it's a very, and over here we've got a dining table and 2 chairs and some decorative stuff, and we have a lantern inside here as well, and a shelving unit to house more stuff. So it's a, again, 10 by 12, 120 square foot tent. It's a little cramped, but we can put everything in it that we need in order to enjoy the weekend. If you walk over here, I'll show you. If you've got a permanent campsite like this, you can utilize all the storage possible, and I've done such under the bed here by taking an old dresser drawer and some wheels off an office chair and just making the hole just slightly smaller, than pushing the axe or the piece that goes into the framework of the chair. And it works very well to utilize space under the bed, and you could utilize that like in a closet if you have clothes that you can't, you need space underneath it. Works very well, so you can utilize as much space as possible underneath the bed. And we also put like the bow case under the bed when I'm here, a gun case under the bed. So just some things to look at if you're looking at a permanent or semi-permanent 3.5 season wall tent on your permanent campsite. Here is the before picture. So this is where we're at this point. I've got the mattress in that blue bag. It's a mattress bag. It's a memory foam mattress, and they say if you fold it, you want to fold it inverted, so whenever you put it back long ways, like a hot dog. And I did it to where the bottom is folded, so when we put it back flat, there'll be an arc in the center, and it'll work itself back down by setting on it and laying on it. So shouldn't be that big of a deal. Got the bathroom all taken down. Got that stuff still to take down. And so the stove's going to go in next. So that's where we're going to go, and I can stack it up to 5 foot, because then that is the same bag, and it'll nestle on top of it with a tarp wrapped around it. And these are the items that I'm leaving out: the wood box, the kindling box, the stove, the pipe that went on the top of the stove. It was outside all the time, so it's not going to hurt anything. We're getting there. We're full on that, but I can go another 1.5 or 2.5 foot because of that. Storage tent's down and almost completely dry, and we're empty. I just got to pull the floor up and disassemble it. Well, there you have it. Everything is inside the waste management dumpster bags, and then covered with a 7mm tarp and secured with tent stakes and logs. And everything here at Peaceful Pines will go to sleep for the winter, and we will be back next spring in order to enjoy more of our land.